a WikiVidi Documentaries production. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy. Selena. Selena Quintanilla Perez was an American singer, songwriter, spokesperson, model, actress, and fashion designer. Called the Queen of Tejano music, her contributions to music and fashion made her one of the most celebrated Mexican-American entertainers of the late 20th century. Billboard magazine named her the top-selling Latin artist of the 1990s decade, while her posthumous collaboration with MAC Cosmetics became the best-selling celebrity collection in cosmetics history. Media outlets called her the Tejano Madonna for her clothing choices. She also ranks among the most influential Latin artists of all time and is credited for catapulting a music genre into the mainstream market. The youngest child of the Quintanilla family, she debuted on the music scene in 1980 as a member of the band Selena y Los Dinos, which also included her elder siblings A.B. Quintanilla and Suzette Quintanilla. Selena began recording professionally in 1982. In the 1980s, she was often criticized and was refused bookings at venues across Texas for performing Tejano music, a male-dominated music genre. However, her popularity grew after she won the Tejano Music Award for Female Vocalist of the Year in 1987, which she won 9 consecutive times. Selena signed with EMI Latin in 1989 and released her self-titled debut album the same year, while her brother became her principal music producer and songwriter. Selena released Entre Mi Mundo, which peaked at #1 on the US Billboard Regional Mexican Albums chart for 8 consecutive months. The album's commercial success led music critics to call it the breakthrough recording of her musical career. One of its singles, Como La Flor, became one of her most popular signature songs. Live won Best Mexican/American Album at the 1994 Grammy Awards, becoming the first recording by a female Tejano artist to do so. In 1994, Selena released Amor Prohibido, which became one of the best-selling Latin albums in the United States. It was critically acclaimed as being responsible for Tejano music's first marketable era, as it became one of the most popular Latin music subgenres at the time. Amor Prohibido has been ranked among the most essential Latin recordings of the past 50 years by Billboard magazine, while the publication nominated it for its list of the top 100 albums of all time. It ranked number 19 on NPR's list of the 150 greatest albums made by women. Aside from music, Selena was active in her community and donated her time to civic causes. Coca-Cola appointed her its spokesperson in Texas. Selena became a sex icon. She was often criticized for wearing suggestive outfits in light of her comments about being a role model for young women. Selena and her guitarist, Chris Perez, eloped in April 1992 after her father raised concerns over their relationship. On March 31, 1995, Selena was shot and killed by Yolanda Soldivar, her friend and former manager of her Selena Etc. boutiques. Soldivar was cornered by police when she attempted to flee and threatened to kill herself, but was convinced to give herself up and was sentenced to life in prison with a possible parole after 30 years. 2 weeks later, George W. Bush, governor of Texas at the time, declared Selena's birthday Selena Day in Texas. Her posthumous crossover album, Dreaming of You, debuted atop the Billboard 200, making Selena the first Latin artist to accomplish this feat. In 1997, Warner Brothers released Selena, a film about her life and career, which starred Jennifer Lopez as Selena and Lupe Ontiveros as Soldivar. Selena has sold over 60 million albums worldwide. 1971-1988, Early Life and Career Beginnings. Selena Quintanilla was born on April 16, 1971 in Lake Jackson, Texas. She was the youngest child of Marcella Ophelia Quintanilla, who had Cherokee ancestry, and Abraham Quintanilla Jr., a Mexican-American former musician. Selena was raised as a Jehovah's Witness. Quintanilla Jr. noticed her musical abilities when she was 6 years old. He told People magazine, "Her timing, her pitch were perfect. I could see it from day one." In 1980 in Lake Jackson, Quintanilla Jr. opened his first Tex-Mex restaurant, Papagayos, where Selena and her siblings Abraham III and Suzette Quintanilla would often perform. The following year, The restaurant was forced to close after a recession caused by the 1980s oil glut. The family declared bankruptcy and were evicted from their home. They settled in Corpus Christi, Texas. Quintanilla Jr. became manager of the newly formed band Selena y Los Dinos and began promoting it. They needed money and played on street corners, at weddings, at quinceañeras, and at fairs. As her popularity as a singer grew, the demands of Selena's performance and travel schedule began to interfere with her education. Her father took her out of school when she was in the 8th grade. Her teacher Marilyn Greer disapproved of Selena's musical career. She threatened to report Quintanilla Jr. to the Texas Board of Education, believing the conditions to which Selena was exposed were inappropriate for a girl her age. Quintanilla Jr. told Greer to mind her business. Other teachers expressed their concerns when they noticed how tired Selena appeared when she arrived at school. At 17, Selena earned a high school diploma from the American School of Correspondence in Chicago, and was also accepted at Louisiana State University. She enrolled at Pacific Western University, taking up business administration as her major subject. Quintanilla Jr. refurbished an old bus. He named it Big Bertha, and the family used it as their tour bus. In the first years of touring, the family sang for food and barely had enough money to pay for gasoline. In 1984, Selena recorded her first LP record, Selena y Los Dinos, for Freddie Records. Despite wanting to record English-language songs, Selena recorded Tejano music compositions, a male-dominated, Spanish-language genre with German influences of polka, jazz, and country music, popularized by Mexicans living in the United States. Quintanilla Jr. believed Selena should record musical compositions related to her heritage. During the recording sessions for the album, Selena had to learn Spanish phonetically with guidance from her father. In 1985, to promote the album, Selena appeared on The Johnny Canales Show, a popular Spanish-language radio program, on which she continued to appear for several years. Selena was discovered by musician Rick Trevino, founder of the Tejano Music Awards, where she won the Female Vocalist of the Year award in 1987 and for 9 consecutive years after. The band was often turned down by Texas music venues because of the members' ages and because Selena was their lead singer. Her father was often told by promoters that Selena would never be successful because she was a woman in a genre historically dominated by men. By 1988, Selena had released 5 more LP records: Alpha, Muñequito de Trapo, and The Winner Is, Preciosa, and Dulce Amor. 1989-1991, Selena, Ven Conmigo, and Relationship with Perez. Jose Behar of newly formed label EMI Latin Records, together with the new head of Sony Music Latin, watched Selena perform at the 1989 Tejano Music Awards. Behar was searching for new Latin acts and wanted to sign Selena to EMI's label Capitol Records, while Sony Music Latin offered Quintanilla Jr. twice Capitol's signing fee. Behar thought he had discovered the next Gloria Estefan, but his superior called Behar illogical, because he had been in South Texas less than a week. Quintanilla Jr. chose EMI Latin's offer because of the potential for a crossover album, and wanted his children to be the first musicians to sign to the label. Before Selena began recording for her debut album, Behar and Stephen Finfer requested a crossover album for her. She recorded 3 English-language compositions for the heads of EMI's pop division. Behar and Finfer's request for a crossover album was denied, and Selena was told she needed a bigger fan base to sell such an album. Behar thought EMI Records and the public did not believe that a Mexican-American woman could have crossover potential. After Charles Koppelman denied the project, Selena released her self-titled debut album on October 17, 1989. The singer recorded most of the songs at Amen Studios in San Antonio, Texas. Sukiyaki and My Love were recorded at Sunrise Studios in Houston. Selena wrote My Love and wanted the song to be included on the album. Her brother A.B. became Selena's principal record producer and songwriter for most of her musical career, though did not write the tracks. Sukiyaki, Contigo Quiero Estar, and No Te Vayas. Sukiyaki was originally recorded in Japanese in the 1960s by Q Sakamoto. Selena used a translation into Spanish of an English version of the song by Janice Marie Johnson. Selena peaked at number 7 on the US Billboard Regional Mexican Albums chart, becoming Selena's first recording to debut on a national music chart. The album performed better than other recordings from other contemporaneous female Tejano singers. In the same year, Coca-Cola wanted Selena to become one of their spokespeople in Texas. The jingle used in her first 2 commercials for the company were composed by A.B. and Chris Perez, the latter of whom had joined Selena y Los Dinos several months earlier as the band's new guitarist. Perez began having romantic feelings for Selena, despite having a girlfriend in San Antonio. After a trip down to Mexico with the band, Perez thought it would be best for them both to distance himself from her, but he found that impossible and chose to try to build a relationship with her. They expressed their feelings for each other at a Pizza Hut restaurant, and shortly afterwards became a couple. Perez and Selena hid their relationship, fearing Quintanilla Jr. would try to break it up. Selena released her second studio album, Ven Conmigo, in September 1990. 3 tracks from Ven Conmigo were released as singles: Ya Ves, La Chacalera, and Baila Esta Cumbia. The latter, a Tejano cumbia song, became one of Selena's most successful singles. Its popularity grew in Mexico, where a compilation album bearing the single's name was released there, which was certified platinum by the Asociación Mexicana de Productores de Fonogramas y Videogramas, denoting sales of 150,000 units. A registered nurse and fan named Yolanda Saldivar asked Quintanilla Jr. to start a fan club in San Antonio. Saldivar had the idea after she had attended one of Selena's concerts. Quintanilla Jr. approved Saldivar's request. He believed the fan club would bring more exposure for the band. Saldivar soon became a close friend to Selena and the family. She was trusted and became the acting president of the fan club in 1991. That same year, Salvadoran singer Alvaro Torres composed a duet he wanted to record with Selena. The song, Buenos Amigos, was produced by Enrique Elizondo and was released on Torres' 10th studio album Nada Se Compara Contigo. Buenos Amigos peaked at number 1 on the US Billboard Top Latin Songs chart, giving Selena her first number 1 single. The song's music video earned Selena and Torres 2 nominations at the 1992 Billboard Music Awards. The track was also nominated for Duo of the Year at the 1992 Tejano Music Awards. Biographer Deborah Paredes wrote that the track enabled Selena to tour the West and East Coasts of the United States. According to John Lonnet of Billboard magazine, Buenos Amigos was helped by increased airplay on regional Mexican and Tejano radio stations, which had previously dismissed Selena's recordings. 1992, 1993, Elopement, Entre Mi Mundo, and Selena Live. Selena's sister Suzette found Selena and Perez flirting with each other and immediately informed their father. Quintanilla Jr. took Perez off the bus and told him his relationship with Selena was over. Selena and Perez continued their relationship despite Quintanilla Jr.'s disapproval. Selena's mother Marcella approved of their relationship. Quintanilla Jr. saw Selena and Perez romantically together on the bus after he informed them of his disapproval. He pulled over and an argument between Quintanilla Jr. and Selena ensued. He called Perez a "cancer in my family" and threatened to disband the group if they continued their relationship. Selena and Perez relented. Quintanilla Jr. fired Perez from the band and prevented Selena from leaving with him. After his dismissal, Perez and Selena secretly continued their relationship. On the morning of April 2, 1992, Selena and Perez decided to elope, believing Quintanilla Jr. would never approve of their relationship. Selena thought Quintanilla Jr. would have to accept them if they were married, and would not have to hide their feelings for each other. Within hours of their marriage, the media announced the couple's elopement. Selena's family tried to find her. Quintanilla Jr. did not take the news well and alienated himself for some time. Selena and Perez moved into an apartment in Corpus Christi. In interviews, Quintanilla Jr. expressed how he feared Perez could be a Machister, who would force Selena to end her career and music goals. A move that prevented Quintanilla Jr. to accept Perez as being suitable for Selena at the time. Quintanilla Jr. later approached Perez, apologized, accepted the marriage, and took Perez back into the band. A month after her elopement, Selena released her third studio album, Entre Mi Mundo, in May 1992. The album was critically acclaimed as her breakthrough album. The recording peaked at number 1 on the US Billboard Regional Mexican Albums chart for 8 consecutive months. It was certified 6x platinum by the RIAA for shipments of 600,000 copies, while in Mexico, the album sold 385,000 units. Entre Mi Mundo became the first Tejano album by a female artist to sell over 300,000 copies. Selena was booked for a high-profile border press tour in Monterrey, Mexico, with music media types in a meet-and-greet conference. At the time, Tejanos were looked down on as hayseed pocos among Mexican citizens. The singer's Spanish was far from fluent. EMI Latin executives were terrified about the singer's limited Spanish during the press conference for the album in Mexico. According to Patuski, Selena played her cards right during the conference and won over the Mexican media after newspapers hailed her as an artist of the people. The newspapers found her to be a refreshing change from Mexican telenovela actors, who were fair-skinned, blonde-haired, and green-eyed. After her publicity press, Selena was booked to play at several concerts throughout Mexico, including a performance at Festival Acapulco in May 1993, which garnered her critical acclaim. Her performance in Nuevo Leon on September 17, 1993 was attended by 70,000 people, garnering her the title of the biggest Tejano act in Mexico. The album produced 4 singles: Como La Flor, Que Creas, La Carcacha, and Amame. Como La Flor became Selena's signature recording. It was critically acclaimed by music critics as a career launcher for Selena. Como La Flor helped Selena to dominate the Latin music charts and become immensely popular in Mexico, where Mexican Americans were generally not liked among citizens, which was well received by critics. The track was nominated for Song of the Year at the 1993 Tejano Music Awards. The single peaked at number 6 on the US Billboard Top Latin Songs chart. In 1994, Entre Mi Mundo ranked as the second best-selling regional Mexican album of all time. Selena released Live. A year after Entre Mi Mundo, it was recorded during a free concert at the Memorial Coliseum in Corpus Christi. On February 7, 1993, the album included previously released tracks that were sung live and 3 studio recordings: No Debes Jugar, La Llamada, and Tu Robaste Mi Corazón, a duet with Tejano musician Emilio Navarra. The tracks, No Debes Jugar, and La Llamada, peaked within the top 5 on the US Billboard Top Latin Songs chart. Live won the Grammy Award for Best Mexican/American Album at the 36th Grammy Awards. In May 1994, Live was named Album of the Year by the Billboard Latin Music Awards. At the 1994 Tejano Music Awards, Live won Album of the Year, while at the 1994 Lo Nuestro Awards, it was nominated for Regional Mexican Album of the Year. Live was certified gold by the RIAA for shipments of 500,000 copies, while in Mexico it sold 250,000 units. Selena briefly appeared opposite Eric Estrada in a Mexican telenovela titled Dos Mujeres, Un Camino. In 1995 she entered negotiations to star in another telenovela produced by Emilio La Rosa. She appeared in 2 episodes, which garnered record ratings for the series. Brought to you by Wikividi Documentaries. Would you like to know more?